So we're not talking headphones today, but we are instead going to be talking about my music gear. So let's go to this side here. So this is my PA system. It's very old. I got it when I was like 16 years old and it was used then. So essentially it's ancient. Yeah, some Magic the Gathering stuff. Because I like the game. I have two CEDH decks, Muldrotha and Gav. Like them both, but I prefer playing other people's decks. I find it more fun, so that's why I only have the two decks. I'm ADHD. I like the change up. My EQ, little headphone amplifier that amplifies multiple headphones at a time, so I can like A/B test and whatnot. And yeah, bass amp, not actually mine. It's a friend, but a friend's. But I am long term borrowing it, so it's kind of just here. It lives here now. This is mine. This is my Fender Blues Junior. It's a tube amp. I used to have a Morgan tube amp as well, which is like a custom hand-built one. Super nice, but I actually kind of prefer the Fender Blues Junior, not gonna lie. Also had a Mesa. The Mesa was, I shouldn't have sold the Mesa. I shouldn't have sold it. Honestly, I shouldn't have. I kind of miss it. It was a really good amp. It was like a dual rectifier, like tremo verb type thing. Really good. My pedal board. So all of these, so this is my distortion, compressor, overdrive, overdrive. But all of those run into this, and this controls those. That way it's not just like muddying up my chain. Like I'm not losing a bunch of my signal, right? I have a couple buffers. So the analog man buffer is in the beginning of the chain or near the beginning of the chain. There's also a buffer. Sorry. There is, this is the buffer at the beginning of the chain. It's a modded volume pedal. That's in the middle of the chain. And then that has a buffer as well at the end of my chain. And, yeah, I have that turned into true bypass and this turned into true bypass. This actually has a noise gate turned on. This is my effects pedal. I use it for if you could only have one effects, like one pedal, if you could only have one, this is the one I would personally have. I love this thing to death. Yeah, has like basically every effect I ever need. The distortions don't sound great, but everything else sounds awesome. Wah pedal, that is the beginning of my chain. That's like the very beginning of my chain. That goes into like the volume pedal, I believe. And then that goes into the analog man, which goes into like this thing. And then that goes, this is the end of my chain into, this is somewhere in the middle of that. I don't know where that is. It's been a while since it's been a long time. And then that's at the end of my chain. An IEM case on there because you never want to forget a pair of IEMs. Picks, they all just kind of get held into a Altoids container. Yeah, this thing. This thing controls the tempo for this pedal and this pedal, which is super nice because then you're not doing tap dancing while you're playing and singing at the same time. This tuner, I specifically got this tuner because it was able to tune bass guitars the best. Out of everything I tried at that time in my life, it could tune bass guitars the best. So that's why I got that. This is my bass guitars. So Fender, is it Fender Jaguar? Yeah, Fender Jaguar bass. This is cool because you can blend the pickups. I really like the sound of these guys here. The jazz bass pickup, it's nice. It's like super bright, but it's close to the bridge. So what do you expect? But yeah, essentially you get to blend it, get these cool tones. Really, I love this bass. This is my 5-string bass. Yeah, it sounds like doo-doo, but it's a 5-string, and occasionally I like to play songs where a 5-string is in fact required, so that's why I have it. This guitar, I like how the color with that guitar actually matches. Well, not matches. It goes well with this guitar. I don't know. Is the white balance going to do its thing? I don't know. Whatever. This is a PRS Silver Sky, John Mayer collaboration. I, at one point in my life, fell in love with John Mayer's live album, and I was listening into it like over and over and over, and I always wanted a Stratocaster. I've always wanted like a nice, like actually I was wanting hot red, like a candy red, but I like this pink. I don't know, it looks so good to me. Yeah, but I fell in love with this album, listened to it over and over and over to the point where I was just like, man, I gotta have a Strat. I sold my Telecaster, used that money towards this, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's the best sounding Strat I've ever played. When it comes to budget, like the tone I was looking for, I couldn't find in the price range, which is kind of crazy because this is not a cheap guitar, but I couldn't find it in this price range except for this guitar. So that's what I went with. Built in the USA. I think it's hand built. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. This case weighs a freaking ton, so I got a gig bag as well, but this case weighs a stupid amount. This is my acoustic guitar. It's a Taylor. I believe this is hand built in USA as well. Don't quote me on that. What is it? 322E. It's a 322E. The E means electric. It plugs in direct. I think it's TRS, so it's balanced, which is cool, very cool. TRS into a PA system. And yeah, I wrote I think all of my songs on this guitar. Not all. I didn't always have this guitar, but I wrote a lot of songs on this guitar, I should say. I love how bright it is. It's a very bright and sparkly, kind of spicy kind of sound. Yeah, I love it. I like that in an acoustic guitar. I want to get a nice big cutaway. I'm not too sure what I'm going to get yet, but I do need something with a cutaway for some songs. I just don't have one. I used to have one, didn't love it, sold it. Now I want one again. Go figure. This is my Gretsch White Falcon. I watched this anime when I was a kid called Beck, and essentially that got me to want one of these real bad. It was a different White Falcon in that anime, but this guitar suited my play style better. It has the center block, dual cutaway, so it's easier to kind of play all over the neck, and less feedback because of the center block. It is very, very nice. It needs to be cleaned. Ooh, it's been a while. I should polish that. Yeah, I believe handmade in Japan. Don't quote me on that, but very, very. This was my dream as a child. I bought it. That's it. I have adult money now. Take that. I bought adult money kid things for me. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the pink and the blue. I love that color combination. It looks real good. Cymbals. I got Travis Barker cymbals. The cymbals of this set is really nice. The drum set itself is not so much. What else? That's the music side of my room, my hobby room, my man cave, or whatever you want to call this place. Yeah, essentially that. And then over here is my photo studio, and well, this is a backdrop, and then this is where I listen to music. Got editing, all that stuff, listening to music, that lovely stuff. I'm currently mid-mod that should be finishing, but never, ADHD. And these are my film cameras. Well, not all of them. These are the ones I display because I like them. That one's my favorite. The Canon EF. It has a vertical plane shutter. Very, very cool. Cobalt metal, whatever. Very cool camera. I love it. It's my favorite. This is an art piece. My wedding photo. Yeah. Yeah, that's my my photo studio. I mean, if you want to take a look at my lenses and stuff, I'm filming on the EOS R because the EOS R doesn't have IBIS. The R5 has IBIS. You're like, Stephen, what does that mean? Well, IBIS is the internal stabilization of the camera. So the sensor moves, right? That's all fine and dandy. It's really, really helpful in a lot of cases, except for this. Because if I'm on super wide, which I've been avoiding super wide, like 15 millimeter, but on the R, it's not that wobbly. If you go back on some of my, like on another video I did with the R5 and 15 millimeter, it is quite wobbly. So I try to keep it, around that 20 millimeter mark, just avoid that wobble. And I film on the R when I'm doing stuff like this because it doesn't have IBIS. And yeah, less wobble. Whew. It is really warm. It is like way too warm for Canadian me. That's for sure. I can't even think straight. So yeah, that's my hobby room. These are my hobbies. If you're interested in any of this stuff, want me to talk more on any of this stuff, you let me know in the comments. But yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.